There you go. There's some good elbows. That was all right. And move your elbows faster than a snail's speed. So you got to get completely vertical before you get back down, otherwise that bar's going to be a foot out in front of you. CrossFit has recently changed for me quite a bit. I want you to clean this one more time. I just want you to clean it. I don't want to triple. CrossFit to me is staying functional for the rest of my life, trying to increase health and longevity as long as I can. You're getting a little bit too much like this when you're trying to get the bar up. I went from a very high level competitor competing at regionals, CrossFit Games hopeful, to now getting back to the roots of CrossFit and using it more for general health and to make my life outside the gym easier. If I were to come by after you caught the bar and you hadn't moved yet, and I took this bar and I pulled down, you should be able to get into a squat. Right. If I came back by you and did that the way you caught, I'm gonna snap your spine in half. And then me and you could wheel around together. On January 12th, 2014, I severed my spine between T11 and T12. I heard the word paralyzed referring to myself from my own lips before I ever heard it from my doctor's lips. He came in and said, I have some bad news. And I said, I'm paralyzed, aren't I? And he just said, yes, you are. It's fast elbows, fast elbows, fast elbows. Even though there are some darker days and some harder times, I knew coming back to CrossFit was what was going to be best for me. So just drive your chest up a little more aggressively. Like, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where everything sucks and you want to throw things and scream and cry. And those days are perfectly okay and almost necessary to get through this kind of stuff. It's making sure that you always bounce back from them and make sure the next day, or maybe the day after that, isn't the same as those bad days.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I call it the bouncing ball analogy. You know, a ball is always supposed to bounce, so if you drop it, if it falls, the falling is fine, and the hitting the ground is fine as long as it bounces back up. It's the second the ball doesn't bounce back up that you've lost.
There you go. Get him.
Craig Hospital means a lot to me. Not only what they teach you about how to live your life as a paraplegic, but the attitudes of the staff. Like, everyone there is happy to work there. No one's grumpy. They just make it easier to stay positive, and I think the help staying positive was more beneficial to me than anything they taught me. Can someone please yell, "Run, Forrest, run"? No? No one? Redefining possible to me is just, I think, more or less a mindset that even though people are telling you that you may never walk again, or you may never do this again, or this may never happen for you again, that you never stop striving for it, you never stop working towards it. I think redefining possible is just that positive attitude that Craig instills in you like the first day you get there. I don't think my chair has changed me on like a personality or a personal level, but it's definitely changed some of the ways I view things and some of the way I do stuff. But as a person, I feel pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed. Walking with the Indigo is fairly realistic. It's a little choppier than I used to walk. I like to think that I used to be a little smoother, but just getting up and being tall again and walking 1 foot at a time like I normally would have, plus the walker, I guess, before my accident is really cool. It's a lot less taxing. You can pretty much do it for a really long time without getting super tired. The mindset of a CrossFit competitor that I had going into this injury definitely gave me a little bit of advantage in everyone else, because CrossFitters in general like to attack their weaknesses, and they see things that people tell them they can't do as a challenge and just go head first into them. And so that being my attitude coming into it definitely allowed me to look at that redefining possible and attack it head on.
My primary compassion is for triathlon.
We were biking together and I heard the crash.
And I was training for a triathlon biking near Manila, and I was hit by a car.
I was really crossing my fingers not to see her there on the asphalt, but unfortunately it was her.
So I had injuries in my spinal cord and as well as head injuries.
She had 2 broken vertebrae, and one was in the cervical 2, which was right up like on the neck, and then kind of like in the middle of the spine, which was T2 injury. Even though that was very serious, the hardest one to take was the TBI. I just want her alive. My wife has been like such an amazing person, and even through this process, she has kept me alive at the same time. I guess one of the things that attracted me a lot is just her will to live. Because of this accident, I have seen that through the whole process.
My memory starts about 8 weeks after the accident. I have some memory of the transition here, but the first couple of weeks of Craig are very blurry. Physical challenges and mental challenges that I've been facing, and the physical challenges are primarily with walking initially.
If you have an injury, you're able to overcome it, but if you have the right people to help you around, like in the case of Craig, then that makes it even more simple.
This is the best day of my time here. It's fantastic. Craig has done an outstanding job of not only treatment, but of helping me progress through a variety of challenges.
We like coming here and seeing everyone just smile and have such a good attitude toward not just us, but all the other patients that are here, some even with worse injuries. So it has been a great experience.
I think that as soon as I started to recover, I started having great hope that I would return to what I had before. And so I don't think I've ever sat in the area of feeling like I was going to regress. I've just been able to progress with some work from everybody.
As I see here Redefining Possible, I see it every day at Craig with like patients that come here, they're not even able to walk, and suddenly you have them walking little bits and all happy, doing something different. The other thing I have seen here as Redefining Possible is like all these activities that I had no idea that people which are handicapped at some point can do, and Craig is making that possible to them.
I think Redefining Possible for me has to do with time frame. I think what I would love to do is just wake up the next morning and be able to go back to work and do triathlon again, but obviously the time frame has been challenged by that, and so I think my Redefining Possible has to do more with the timeline of things, and things just go a lot slower. So, but in a good way, because it's making me slow down and really appreciate the leaves and the people that I'm around, which I probably didn't appreciate enough before. And it's thanks to the people at Craig.
This is about kind of where it looked like the tracks it hit, and he had started his roll.
And it shot me across.
Stuff was scattered, and I could see the cab was crushed.
7.5 hours I laid right over there.
I'll be damned. Set of keys right there. Dodge keys. I bet those were Jess's. Anyway, that's where the wheels first hit. Must have knocked the keys right out of the ignition, but like I say, it was a pretty bad wreck. There was stuff everywhere.
And I really thought I was gonna freeze to death.
The warmer he got, the more he started hurting.
The injuries didn't matter. I didn't even think of the injuries. He's alive, he's talking, he's breathing. It was all gonna be okay.
I think that right when you get hurt is the hardest time.
He's alive, he's breathing. He can't move his legs, and he broke his arm.
And we had to deal with that aspect too. It's just, a lot of pain and stuff.
Everybody has struggles in their life. Mine's sitting in a chair, but lots of people's is marriage, lots of people's is work. I think that if you really put your mind to it, you can achieve anything.
Everything's possible. You can go out and do pretty much anything you did before your injury or before life changed. They just have to go about it a little different way usually.
Possible is just anything that can be achieved. Anything that you can put your mind to and get done. And so being able to redefine that is, I think that redefine is setting different boundaries, where you're redefining boundaries or redefining something else. That's what it is. It's you're setting something new up. So I think that redefining possibilities is taking that thing you want to achieve and not letting anything hold you back.
Jess has taken so many different things that we didn't know how we would go about making it happen, and he makes it happen.
Bolted the crib into the wall.
From adapting our crib
So it's really sturdy and allows lots of room to roll through. Hey, babe.
to building something to carry our baby.
So she's in there and really secure.
He's made things possible that really a lot of people would say aren't possible.
Pull it up.
I mean, I'm no different than anybody else. I just have to sit instead of stand. I was a 6'4" kid who liked to chase these kids around and play football and hang out with my friends, and now I'm still the same guy. But Craig Hospital helped me realize that it's just that you have to sit instead of stand.
Without Craig Hospital, I don't think we would know how to redefine possible. I really don't. I think that what we learned at Craig has brought us to where we are now, and our mindset with things and how far we've come in life.
I think they teach you your new normal in life. They teach you not to look at the past, but to look forward. That the obstacles that necessarily you had before don't even compare to the things you're gonna have now. Without Craig Hospital, I don't think I'd be doing near as good.
Redefining possible to myself and my family is really just seeing what needs to be done and figuring out a way to do it.